Imagine for a moment that the struggles you face, the doubts, the fears, the traits you suppress, aren't just burdens to be overcome. What if they were signposts pointing toward your truest self? What if the very aspects of yourself you try to hide are, in fact, the keys to your purpose? Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful ideas in psychology and philosophy, Carl Jung's concept of the shadow. But this isn't just theory. This is about you. By the end of this journey, you won't just understand your shadow. You'll begin to see how embracing it can lead to self-discovery, transformation, and even freedom. Carl Jung, a pioneer in depth psychology, described the shadow as the unconscious part of ourselves, the traits, emotions, and desires we reject because they don't fit with how we want to see ourselves. These could be qualities we consider negative, like anger, jealousy, or selfishness. But they could also be suppressed strengths, passions, or ambitions that we've deemed unacceptable. The paradox? The more we reject our shadow, the more power it has over us. Like a hidden force shaping our thoughts and actions, it influences us in ways we don't always realize. So how do you know what's lurking in your shadow? A good clue lies in your emotional reactions to others. Ever noticed how certain people irritate you more than they should? Jung suggested that when we judge or dislike someone intensely, it's often because they reflect a part of ourselves we don't want to see. For example, if arrogance in others infuriates you, ask yourself, could this be a trait I suppress in myself? Do I hold back from confidence because I fear being seen as arrogant? Jung put it simply, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. So why do we suppress these traits in the first place? Often it's because we were taught they were unacceptable by society, family, or culture. But here's the catch. Ignoring the shadow doesn't make it disappear. It simply forces it underground, where it influences us in subtle and sometimes destructive ways. It's like trying to push a beach ball underwater. The more pressure you apply, the harder it bursts to the surface. The way forward? Awareness, acknowledgement. Not to act on every impulse, but to see the shadow for what it is, a part of you that has something to teach. Think of a great artist. They don't create masterpieces using only bright colors. They use contrast, light, and shadow to bring depth to their work. Your personality works the same way. Suppressing your shadow is like painting with only half the palette. Jung called the process of accepting and integrating the shadow individuation. It's about becoming whole, bringing together the conscious and unconscious aspects of yourself, rather than denying one half of who you are. This doesn't mean surrendering to your worst impulses. It means recognizing them, understanding them, and channeling their energy in a way that serves you. So, how do you begin working with your shadow? Self-reflection. Pay attention to strong emotional reactions, judgments, or recurring patterns in your life. These can be clues to your hidden self. Journaling. Write about traits or emotions you find difficult to accept. What would happen if you acknowledged them instead of suppressing them? Dream analysis. Jung believed our unconscious speaks to us through dreams. Look for symbols, recurring figures, or emotions that may reflect buried aspects of yourself. Radical honesty. Acknowledge the parts of yourself you've been running from, not with judgment, but with curiosity. The reward, a greater sense of self-awareness, confidence, and authenticity, and perhaps most importantly, freedom from the fear of your own reflection. So the question is, are you ready to meet your shadow? To step beyond fear and into the depths of who you really are? Because in that darkness, you may just find the light you've been searching for all along.